Hi, everybody. This is John Wright from Simple Leadership Strategies. And this week I want to take 3 minutes and share with you an idea that comes from our emotional intelligence section of our workshop, the Transformational Leader Manager. We say there are 5 things that a TLM does differently than a mere manager: how they think, behave, perform, focus, and relate. That relate part is the emotional intelligence. It's how they make people feel. So the first part is self-awareness and managing your own emotions. Have you ever been in a good mood, confident, feeling great, and suddenly somebody says something or a circumstance occurs and suddenly your emotions change dramatically? Maybe you're now afraid, maybe you're angry, maybe you're doubtful, maybe you're worried. It happens to all of us. We call that getting hijacked. One minute you're flying your own plane, and the next minute you're not flying your own plane. You have allowed a situation, or a person to change your state. Now, the question is, what do we do about that? The first thing is to become aware that it happens. If you're not aware, I've had people in our workshop say they can be in that state for hours and sometimes days. Now, we are not saying that we should always be in a positive situation. It's best, we're more productive if we do. Professor Archer told us that out of the 4 main states, positive, negative, neutral, or stressed, when somebody's positive, they're much more resilient, they're more productive, they're more creative. So it's best to be in a positive state. But that is not to say that there's not a time for every emotion. There is a time for every emotion. There's a time to be angry. There's a time to have fear. Fear can serve a useful purpose. The question isn't whether or not we have these emotions. The question is, are we in control? Are we aware? And are we choosing those emotions because they're the right thing to do? Or have we allowed someone to hijack our plane? So the first thing is to admit and then commit. Admit that we get hijacked. What are your triggers? What are the people or the circumstances that tend to allow you to get from a positive state to another state? Not because it's the right state, but because it's just a trigger and somebody else has done that. If you become aware of it and you can simply say to yourself, I just let that person hijack me, that admitting that will enable you to get your plane back more quickly. But what's better than getting your plane back more quickly? It's preventing getting hijacked in the first place. So what we need to do is we need to recognize what one of our triggers are, and then systematically rethink what those situations are and what they mean. Emotions come from thoughts. So if a trigger gets you out of control, it's because you think of it a certain way. Often you have the choice to rethink that so that it means something different. If you will identify those triggers, if you will think them through so that they mean something different, then over time, you will not have that conditioned response. You will recondition yourself so that you'll have a calm response instead of the other automatic response. Have a great week, everybody.